And they start throwing elbows around. Keep the people in the day. Like in RoboCop. Your move, creep. This is the riff that would play in that. If that had a Big Destroyer soundtrack.
And then it's like, ah!
Your move, creep.
Your move, creep.
One thing I want to bring up, what is that band that you absolutely abhor and hate?
But
you like this. You like this band. What is the name?
I don't know.
You know.
Cattle? Is it another animal band?
No, it's like with the oh man, I forget their name.
That song was fucking awesome.
But you like this. I wanted to bring it up because you like this a lot more than that, and you just say like they're overrated. Like your thing was like, didn't we hear that in the 80s? Like, isn't that was done?
Oh, is it Power Trip?
Yes. There we go.
I don't. Yeah.
Let's anger the metal community right now. This guy hates Power Trip, but he likes this.
I listen to it and I'm like, I've heard Slayer, like I've heard Pantera, I've heard like all those bands.
Well, why do you like this as opposed to someone like Power Trip?
Because that to me, when I listen to, and I should say that I don't hate the people in Power Trip. Because I feel like when you say you hate a band, people are like get all mad at you, like they're nice guys or whatever. It's like I'm sure they are, but like when I listen to that music, it just sounds to me that it's like 80s metal, whereas that's not the only thing that, like, there are grooves in here that remind me of Pantera, but that's not the only thing that this is offering. Like, you know, Pig Destroyer has a member who does like electronics and like noise stuff, and to me that's a really interesting element to add to like grindcore, and like that song was really groovy. But it started with that dissonance, and that to me is what makes this really interesting. Like, this song started with these heavy like mid-tempo chords that were really dissonant. Whereas when I listen to Power Trip, it's just like, it's like major chords and it's like thrashy grooves, and it's almost like those bands like, was it Leeway? It's like those thrash hardcore crossover bands.
But I guess Power Trip is more like always punch you in the face.
I just feel like it's like,
but like I guess Pig Destroyer breaks it up, and
but they also
their songs always start in one place and then end in another. You know?
It's also musically just more interesting to me. Like, I feel like when I listen to it, and I'm not singling out Power Trip. There are obviously other bands who sound like that. But like when I listen to those bands, it just sounds like it's like power chord grooves or like drop tuning grooves. And this starts with that, like I said before, like there's that dissonance to those chords. And it's like they're obviously searching for a sound that's unique and that's them, and that evokes something that's not just like, okay, let's like write another thrash song. And so that song is really interesting too, because it starts, like I said, with that mid-tempo part, and then it has like that grindcore part, and then there's like this kind of mid-tempo groove in it, and it slows down, it speeds up again, and then it stops when it sounds like another riff is going to start. Mm-hmm. So, and structurally, I think the songs on this album generally are really interesting.
Mm-hmm. And structured very well. And the name of the song is The Torture Field, so that it kind of feels like we're sneaking into this place that we're not supposed to be in, and then we get, kind of get caught.
And it just stops.
Yeah. And like, cause like you're found out, and now like, what are you gonna do?
We're gonna get like chained in a cage and peed on next. Is that the next track?
Well, the next one is called Terminal Itch. So I guess there might be some.
That could be a form of torture. I can't reach it.
Like water torture. Or,
piss cage.
Piss torture.
Piss cage.
Piss torture.
That could be the name of one of our bands that we start. Our theoretical bands, Piss Cage. What did you think about that track?
I thought it definitely is evocative of the title, and again, all their songs are structured with that beginning, middle, end, because they really start sounding one thing, they sort of move into the other, and then they move into the ending, which it's like it's always different on every song, but they always seem to have a beginning, middle, end.
Yes, it's well structured, and also like I would say atypically structured.
Yeah.
Like it reaches the part where you're like, oh, this is going to be the breakdown, and then it'll speed up.
Right.
Or you think, oh, this
or
is going to
slow
be
down, or vice versa.
It's just unexpected, yeah.
But I thought it was good. Definitely, yeah. Circle River definitely is probably.
Now I'm just worried about all the hate mail I'm going to get from
because he hates
the Power Trip fans.
That's good because we.
I wouldn't say that I hate them. Like I don't listen to it and think like, oh God, this is the worst music I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. The first time I heard them, I thought they were like an early 90s or late 80s band I had never heard before. Mm-hmm. And then someone was like, oh, this came out 6 months ago. And I was like, what? But it's the same. I mean, I feel the same way about those bands that sound exactly like Entombed, that I'm not going to name by name because I don't want to get hate mail from their fans. But I listen to them and I'm like, I heard this in like, I mean, obviously in 1991 I was like, 8 years old, but like we've been hearing this music for 25 years, and it's like it's fine if you like Entombed and you want to play that music, but I like, as from the perspective of someone who would play, like if I were to start a band, I don't know how much like fulfillment I would get out of just sounding like another band. Like, why not just be in a cover band?